Today, Precarious plays
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I know that you do put claws on them or other punchy type weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So they can learn new abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I like to pretend like they're not actually that important.
Mm-hmm.
And that whenever Isaac uses one of his gladiator abilities, silence target area, he's not like powering up the gauntlets on his fists with elemental energy.
Mm-hmm.
He just like wreaths his entire arm in fire. And just like he's just like, this hand of mine is burning red! And then he grabs them by the face and just like mushes their skull. What is that whole speech?
Oh,
Shit.
I don't know.
This hand of mine, it's burning red. It tells me to defeat you. No, I can't remember. Oh, I feel so guilty. I don't have control over New Kid's actions right now, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He's just gonna do whatever New Kid wants to do.
He's just pissed, man. He just found out. Somebody told him the truth, and now he's mad.
He's gonna have to bust out all his sorrow.
Oh.
Burning finger.
So,
Ha!
last episode, we were talking about how this is Pokemon and Pokemon is this. And because I have Pokemon on the brain, I just can't let that drop right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing Pokemon, and you are a trainer, and you have your Pokemon, when you're playing, I'm not saying what the story says, I'm saying as a trainer, do you feel like your Pokemon
Jeez, this guy.
are more like your coworkers, or do you feel like your Pokemon are more like your pets?
Oh, coworkers for sure.
And do you feel like your people here, your party members that you pick up along the way, are more like coworkers or pets?
Pets.
Pets. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
It's very weird. Why is that?
It's probably because of a lot of rationalizing I've done over the years to not feel so guilty about Pokemon.
Well, it is dogfighting.
No, it's not dogfighting because of years of rationalization. Rationalization. Rah.
Yeah.
Because, like, here's a keeper.
Yeah.
Pokemon, they don't come with you unless they want to. That Pokeball, they have to be like, okay, I trust your battle instincts. I'll come with you now.
Where?
That's the only thing that keeps a Pokeball from
And you do that by,
every time.
like, bludgeoning them or putting them to sleep or paralyzing them in order to convince them.
in order to demonstrate your desire for their companionship. No, that never sounds good.
I can poke holes through this argument all
No, here,
day.
there is an actual reason for it.
Yeah.
Only 50, but I doubt she'll be able to hit him from up there. What if a New Kid took that spot? So I just I'm gonna have to swing. Did it. Nailed it. So, here's the thing. Going into the Pokeball, I'll admit that's a little sketchy. I could try to make an argument about, like, whether or not they are submitting. They're just finally being like, okay, fine, I'll travel with you.
Yeah.
That's a little iffy, right?
Right.
But, thanks to the anime, and I think, at least... Thanks to the anime and maybe the games, I'd have to dig around to find an example in the games. Sorry, it's just that ice and fire were both illegal at points today, and I want to make sure that it's not the same map. They can leave whenever they want. The only Pokeball I've ever seen in my life that a Pokemon could not just jump out of whenever they wanted to,
Yeah.
where the Pokeball is created by Mewtwo in the movie.
So wait, what do you mean they can just leave whenever they want?
They can leave, like, you cannot, as far as I know, you cannot force a Pokemon to stay in a Pokeball, even if it's decided that it like, previously wanted to travel with you. Ash could not keep his Pikachu in a Pokeball without convincing him of the importance of it, because I think there was a point.
Okay, so this is backed up by the anime and movies.
Right.
Okay.
But I think it is also true in the games. I think there are examples of Pokemon just being like, poof, I'm out of my Pokeball now, because I want to be.
Really?
Yeah.
But what happens when they're in the PC? Well, they're not in a Pokeball, I guess. And
That's
the PC
also-
might just be the holodeck. I don't know.
Right, that's unclear. And it's something that they've only, I think, just started to discuss in the games, because there's a girl who's standing in Ultra Sun. There's a girl standing near a PC, and she's like, I wonder what it's like to be a Pokemon in a PC. I wish I could go in and find out. And
Isn't there a theory that the humans in Pokemon are Pokemon?
oh, they're totally Pokemon. There are first off, again, thanks to the anime primarily, but also in other Pokemon media, they are just as impossibly resilient as Pokemon,
Uh-huh.
right? Like
Right.
Jesse and James, they get blasted off again
They do.
hundreds of times and they never die.
Yeah, they do.
Just like Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
They seem to be just as impossibly resilient as Pokemon.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll come back to this. Ritz, thank you.
You're welcome. Don't thank me. I wasn't trying to help you.
Baka. Always with the baka. So, also there are humans, or Pokemon with the species of human, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
In the Pokemon universe that demonstrate the same types of abilities. I think that by default, all humans are probably the normal type.
Yeah.
And there are some that seem to have an additional type. Sabrina has psychic powers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are Pokemon trainers that are psychics,
Ooh.
and they have psychic powers.
Ooh.
There are other trainers, I'm trying to think of an example where it's like something that's built in. It's not just... Like, there are fire breathers, but they don't actually, like, produce flame. They just are modeled after real world
Fire breathers with,
Right.
like, yeah.
tools.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course. Any of the fighting trainers, right?
Yeah.
Like any of the bodybuilders or anything like that, I think that they just have developed the fighting type.
Huh.
Like that's their type.
So they're like normal fighting Pokemon.
Yeah, or if they go far enough, maybe they just evolve over time into a fighting type human.
Oh, this goes so deep.
Right. And well, here's the question that's always on everyone's mind. Can you catch a human? See,
I don't want to find
the
out.
world of Pokemon is fundamentally different at its core because the people in Pokemon are just nicer, better people. The worst criminals are still very friendly. Team Rocket, as bad as they are, as
They're
bad
like,
as they can be.
"Whoopsie."
So that's why it isn't necessarily like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, it'd be terrible if you could fit a human into a Pokeball, because the implications for human trafficking are awful, because in Pokemon world, human trafficking maybe just never would cross anybody's mind.
It's just not a problem somehow.
Right, because they're just fundamentally different. It's a different species. But no, I think that you could probably totally catch a human and then digitize them in the PC. I always imagine my PC boxes, though, I like build up like an environment, and I label my boxes as such.
Yeah.
And there's usually some sort of like continuity between them. Like usually you have. So in Ultra Sun right now, for example, I know that this is we're going way off book here, way off topic. In Ultra Sun, I have 3 boxes that are labeled Chateau, and that's where all of my important fighters live, right? And it's like a mansion, which I imagine to be surrounded by a field. So the next box is just an empty field, and that's where I keep like all of the
training ground Pokemon.
well, like the Caterpie and Baneri and Klefki, all of like the sort of wimpy ones that are just kind of tiny.
And like grass.
And then you have the forest, which is where you keep like the tougher ones like Bulbasaur and Ivysaur. And then you have like the deep forest, which is where you keep like the Beedrill and Pancham, Pangoro, and then and Seviper. Then you have like a prairie, and then a desert, and then a mountain, and then the cave, and the volcano, and the snowy peak, and then you just have like the open sky, which is where most of the birds live. So that's what I do, and I imagine that it is like a holodeck situation where they get to like hang out and move around, like Sword Art Online style.
Oh, yeah.
Just because like that makes the most sense for me. It's actually a little upsetting because I think that Pokepelago damages that a little bit because they specifically say like now your Pokemon get to run around.
Oh.
But Pokepelago is sort of what I always imagined the PC boxes to be, and then I guess they could coexist. Also, the anime totally says that the Pokemon professor that you got your starter from is in charge of taking care of your Pokemon on like a day-to-day basis. There's a funny episode where Professor Oak has to like release all of Ash's Pokemon to like let them run around and get exercise before they go back into their Pokeballs, and it's sort of implied that he does this like every day for all of the trainers that are sort of like under his purview, which goes a long way towards explaining why most trainers only have like 1 or 2 Pokemon. Maybe it's like a social faux pas to have like a pile of unused Pokemon. Maybe that's just something that you don't do because you'll be ostracized.
I never did it. I tried really hard not to catch them all.
Well, that's why I think that not everyone has a Pokédex. I think that like that's the rationale. Like you get a Pokédex from a professor, and in exchange they do like the day-to-day maintenance on all of your Pokemon in the background. So you are catching hundreds of Pokemon, but then the professor is taking care of them if you're not. Just for like their benefit. I don't think that anything bad would happen to them if they're just in like their digitized state, which they may exist in. Like Ultra Sun sort of like is pushing me towards thinking that they are just like in the cloud, the Poke Cloud. Okay, back to this. Well, I hope you two don't get in trouble for helping me. I wouldn't put bounties on your heads too.
Well, if they come looking for us, we'll just have to turn you in. Yes, I think that's what we'd probably do.
He's again. Oh, he did it. He did the down. Aww. I guess I should be leaving.
Yes. Good luck, new kid. People don't call you new kid
Oh
anymore,
no!
do they?
Look at him.
I might just join sides with Mute, you know. Then we'd be enemies, got it?
I did feel just a little tinge of sadness for New Kid there.
You know, Ritz, I think New Kid's worried about you. Why not help him? You're no friend of the palace. Why the sudden concern, Shara? If what he says is true, his family is in the other world. And so is yours, Ritz. You don't want to see them or your friends again?
Yeah, they were lame.
I do, but here I've got something that I don't want to lose. It's my hair. This normal, non-white hair. Hair? Non-white? What do you mean? In the other world, in reality, my hair is pure white. I was born that way. I had to dye it every morning. Really?
Look, I think that this is just poorly presented.
I'm just stunned that she can't find a hair dye that lasts a month, because that's how that shit works, okay? I'm not like, no. First off, white hair would be really cool. Check her out.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's why the kid in the beginning of the game calls her an old granny.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I'm like, really? You're dyeing your hair every morning? Yeah, sure. No. Not how that works.
But, it seems like a lame excuse to rather be here than there.
That has a lot of baggage, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I mean it's an expression of herself that makes her more comfortable with who she is.
That hair color has bags to unpack.
Yeah.
Before I learned how, my mom would do it for me. Geez, Mom, thanks. And that I couldn't stand it. She was always so sad. She looked like she would cry every time she took out the dye. Then don't dye your kid's hair, yo. It's fine. Ritz. I'd rather be called Whitey Locks than see her face. What did she have to cry about? Her hair was normal. I was the one that should have been crying, not her. Boy. I can find family and friends here. But I'd never be able to change things in that world. I'm sure that's how Mute feels too.
That's very peculiar. I wonder if that, like, implies that... What would Ritz's mom be so upset about? Maybe, like, Ritz's dad had white hair? Or...
I don't know, maybe she's a demon baby, who knows? Like, it...
What if it's an indication of, like, some sort of awful disease that Ritz has that she'll struggle with later in life?
That's probably it. I mean...
Well, this is you.
Why can't you find him? Why?
I can't remember Sid's voice, so I'm just gonna give him a cool guy voice. Well, he's probably trying very hard not to be found.
I don't care, Papa. Get him now. You're the strongest judge in Ibelis.
Doing all I can. We're going to do a search of every town next.
Hurry, or the world will break, and then I...
Your Highness, please calm down. Master Sid will surely find him.
I don't think that's the voice he had before, but...
I don't remember and I don't care right.
Okay.
Mama, where's Mama? I shall summon her for you just a moment. Mama, where are you?
New Kid's being mean to me, Mama. Make him stop. Help.
Oh.
Is his mom already dead again?
No, she is super not dead. Trust me.
Okay.
Ah, cool. Found a gun.
Great. Just what this needs.
Look, this young boy, he wants to dismantle the world. Quick, someone give him a gun.
Yeah, talk about bags to unpack on that hair color. I was like, this hair color has bags to unpack, and the game is like, yeah, here they are. Take them. They're really heavy.